Good afternoon and welcome to Radio Row at Super Bowl 57. I'm Kayla Brad. I'm here with Roy Kessel, Sports Philanthropy Network, with Louise Sharpe, NFL alumni, a man with an amazing story, a great journey, something that will inspire all of us. Good afternoon, Louise.
Well, Kayla, wonderful to meet you. And you have always been so positive and so uplifting on social media for a long time. I can't thank you enough for your positivity and the impact that's had on my life. Thank you for having me on your show today.
Thank you. So let's do this. I know your story, and I'm sure many of your Facebook friends and your listeners do. Let's talk a little bit about the NFL, but let's talk about your journey after retirement, okay?
Yeah,
Go ahead and tell us who you played
absolutely.
for how long, and what your life looked like.
Well, I went to, I played, let me just start. When I came to the United States from the island of Havana, Cuba, came at the age of 5, 6 years old, didn't speak one word of English. And there was, in the assimilation process, kids can be very mean. My brother and I, my brother was a year younger, and we had a very difficult time assimilating. And I went and started playing high school football. Became very very good. Received 250 scholarship offers. Went to UCLA on athletic scholarship. All American at UCLA. First round draft choice by the then St. Louis Cardinals. And moved to Arizona in 1988. Played in 3 consecutive Pro Bowls. Was involved with the player union in the search for free agency for many years. And I had some issues after I retired and living life irresponsibly. Went to prison several times as a result of an addiction, and I've been recovered coming up on 6 years now. And that negative sense of self now has turned into a positive concern for others, and that's where I'm at today.
And that's the story that I love. And you and I have talked about that many times, right? Like to see a man who understands what that's like, what that journey is like. What was that process like for you? I guess more importantly, when was your epiphany moment, Luis, when you said something's got to change, something's got to break?
Thank you. You talked about the process and what prompted the change, and I think the love of my family, the fact that they supported me through 4 periods of incarceration, and they supported me through tremendous shame and guilt that they had as a result of my story being told publicly, and the fact that I did not want to go back to prison. I got like a 5 year sentence the last time back in 2008. And I'll never forget, it was Super Bowl time when I caught that last charge. I think that was 2008. And I realized that at my age, if I didn't change something about my life, I was going to go down the same path and get the same type of consequences. And I didn't want to go and do a life sentence incarcerated with the state of Arizona. So at that point, I decided to, you know what, take somebody else's suggestion when it came to recovery, when it came to changing my mindset and becoming a productive, responsible, law-abiding member of society again.
Well, Luis, I know that when you look at that criminal justice system, it tends to gobble people up and swallow them, and it's really hard to get out of that environment when you're stuck in there. It's very difficult to get out and extricate yourself from that system. So, talk a little bit about, you talked about some of it being an addiction, but how you were able to get yourself out of that system.
No, absolutely. When you get in the criminal justice system, there's very rehabilitation when they lock you up and send you away to prison, and as a result, what happens is a lot of the men incarcerated, they talk about uh, ways that they can commit crimes and get away with it. So they're worse off, worse criminals at their exit than they were when they came into the system. I didn't do that. Fortunately, I was busy working out, keeping myself fit. I took biblical courses. I went to Bible studies, and it was actually in prison where I received the Lord. I went up and I confessed Jesus Christ, and I spent those 5 years incarcerated, reading the Word, the Scriptures, and the Scriptures really ministered to me. I saw myself in many of the biblical characters, and I knew that if God could turn around the life of a King David, who was a murderer, an adulterer, the Apostles Paul, a persecutor, if God can turn their lives around and touch their hearts, He certainly could do it for me. And He could also use my life as an example for others. And that's really where it all began for me.
13% black men in Milwaukee are incarcerated. My question for you, and I know your issues a lot struggled with addiction. Do you believe that race plays a part in incarceration? Because our numbers in Milwaukee are crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's true across the nation. We get arrested more often than other races, even though we don't use drugs anymore. The charges are significantly more punishing, and we receive longer sentences. We receive longer sentences, so
That's
absolutely there
right.
is an imbalance in the criminal justice systems when it comes to people of color. And luckily, with all of the social unrest and everything, we're starting to take a look at that. We're starting to take a look at that, and I think a lot of our leaders, President Biden and Kamala Harris, being two of them, are starting to address those issues and balance the scales when it comes to incarceration of people of color.
So, Luis, I know you're here also on behalf of
Good point.
Athletes in Action, and you're talking about what's coming up this weekend with the Super Bowl breakfast. Very important event, great winners and great track record. Tell us a little bit more about what's coming up on Saturday.
Can you please
Yeah, we're
move him where we
honoring Kirk Cousins, a
move
current player
him?
with the
Move
Minnesota
him.
Vikings, and we're giving Kurt the Bart Starr Award. And basically, what that signifies is a player who has exemplified the greatest character, leadership, and service, not only with his football team, but in his family and in the community. And what I'm most impressed with is that the winner of this Bart Starr Award yearly is voted on by the current members of the NFL. So it really shows you the heart and how people really feel. The current members of the league, how they feel, and I'm excited. I'm going to get to go on stage, and the theme of the breakfast is comebacks. I'm going to be with James Conner, and we're going to tell our stories. James overcame cancer, and my disease of addiction I've overcome, and it just gives some people some hope that recovery is possible.
So, Louise, speaking of that, what I'd love to do, if you don't mind, is bring your beautiful daughter over. Let's put her on here. We
Thank you.
talk about comeback, right? What's her name?
Rebecca, this is my beautiful daughter, Rebecca. You think my story is amazing? Wait till you listen to this child and what she's overcome and where she's at now.
Here we
Very
go.
proud father.
Jump on here.
Oh, wow, I'm getting tapped in. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Thank you,
anticipating this.
Kayla.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, hello. Comebacks. Okay, so should I be listening for you in here or just here? Okay. 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 Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Okay. That's a really great key. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, this is Roy Kessel signing off for Sports Philanthropy Network. Luis, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your insight with us and sharing your daughter and her beautiful story. So great to be here at Super Bowl 57. We're reminding everybody to live generously. Thank you.